welcome to my YouTube channel, Imiriki Stitches. Please, if you're new on this channel, don't fail to subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, please don't fail to like and share the video, and also leave your comment on the comment section so we know how to treat you. Today I'm going to illustrate on how to make a jacket like the one you've seen on the thumbnail. But before I start, you're going to use 2 yards of fabric. Already this one that I have is more than 2 yards, because the person wants to make a straight corset tube in under, then the tube, then the jacket to use to cover. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to fold it, the folding and then the cutting. But this is the measurement we're going to use: the full length and the half length, the shoulder, the bust, the shape, under bust circumference, hips line, nipple to nipple, then shoulder to nipple. That's all that is required, aside from the sleeve and the round sleeve. But we're going to do work on this alone without the sleeve, so we're going to set to work. First of all, you open up the fabric. It's a leather fabric, as you've seen, leather fabric. I'm going to fold it into two. When folding, fold it into two, and after folding it like the way you've seen now, you will measure. Before taking the full length, you're going to measure the person's shape, the person's bust, which is the biggest part, or sorry, the hips is the biggest part there on the measurement. As you've seen, the hips happen to be the biggest measurement, which is 42. You're going to measure the person's the hips with your 2 inches allowance. This is the person's hips. That's 42. That's divided by 4. You have 10 and a half. Now 10 and a half plus 2 inches, you're going to have 12.5. Then the only space you're keeping here, that in this side that doesn't have cut, is just 2.5. So you're going to, already this one is too big, so I'm going to still pull it out. In totality, I have to have like 14 and a half. That's 12 and a half, sorry, 15. 12 and a half plus 2 and a half, 15. So I'm going to still pull it out till I have the 15. It's 15 half, 15. Okay. It's 15. Then that's 42 plus 2, then the 2 half. We're going to set to work now. After having folding it in your 15, then you're going to mark out the full length. The full length here, as we've had here, is full length is 34. I'm going to take my full length 30. I won't take up to the 34 because the collar comes to with this thing. Okay, I will take all 34. I'll mark out 34 first because it's going to be a long jacket. A long jacket. I'm going to use in wearing tube. Mark out to 34. On the line of the 34, you now mark another one here, 4 inches outside the 34. This 4 inches is what will help help you bring out your, what is it called, to bring out the collar. This is what you use in bringing out the collar. So you mark out the 34, the 4 inches, sorry. The 4 inches you've gotten. Then the next step you're going to do is to mark out your 2 half. Like I said, mark out your 2 half, 2 half, 2 half. Now your 2 half. This is a freehand method. I'm just carrying it out directly on the fabric. without placing, is not pattern. 2 half. Mark your 2 half. This is what you do till you take it to the end. Is you use your ruler so you can have a straight line. Okay, now from the side, you see the 2 half is marked on the side that there is no cut. Now this is only for the front bodies. Before extension, the 2 half. The next thing you're going to do on this line, we'll mark out your shoulder. The shoulder there is 14. 14 divided by 2, we have 7. So I'm going to mark 7. Then I'll put 1 inch. Like allowance. Then I'm going to place my tape there to mark out the armhole. Then the armhole here, what I'm going to take is 8. If you had watched my previous video, you will know how to get the calculate to have the armhole. That's it. And I'll round it. You can use your cuff. Okay, if you have it better, round it. Then on the line of the armhole, I'll mark out my bust. Bust here is 34. 34 divided by 4, we have 8 half. Then we now have our 2 inches for seam allowance. Then you place your tape vertically again. Then mark out your the half length here, which is what, 14. That's the half length. Then I'll mark out my hip line, which is what, 21. The hip line, sorry, is 21. This is for the. Then I'll mark out the under bust is 13. There's no need to mark it out, but if you still insist, you can mark it out. Then this is, but I will really mark out the nipple, the shoulder to nipple, which is the 10 inches. It's very, very necessary, so that when you're fixing your dart, you know where it will actually stop. This is how it will be. You straighten the lines out. So the next step you take is just to insert your measurement on them. Like for the shape, I'll mark my shape out. The shape here, what we have is 30. 30 divided by 4, we have 7 half. Then we still put our 2 inches for seam allowance to connect the line. Then we mark out the hips. This here is what, 42. 10 divided by 2, we have 42 divided by 4, we have 10 half. 2. Then we still put our 2 inches for the allowance. And we are going to connect it. That's what you have. That's how it will look like. Now what we're going to do next is to mark out the neckline. The neck here, I'm going to take from here to here, just 3. Mark my 3. Then on the 3, I'll slope my shoulder by 1 inch. And after the sloping, I'm going to take from this line of the shoulder to where I place my 4. I'm going to take there just 3 half. Mark out 3 half here. Note that point. Then on my waist shape line, this half length line, I'm going to come in here. Remember, we had kept 2.5 here, so I'm going to come in here by 2 half. By 2 inches, sorry, it was 2 half I kept. I'm going to mark 2 here. Well, I have my 3 half here. So see, I'll connect the line from this is the point for the 3/2 and this is the point for the 2 which we have on the shape. Then on the 3/2 line, this is where we have the 3 for the neckline. Now on the 3/2 you mark it directly here. So on this 3/2 you connect your 3 to where we have the 3/2. This is how it will be. Then on this line of the 3/2 you draw out 4 inches. Mark out 4 inches. This is it. So I'll connect the 3/2 to where we have the 4. This is how it will look like. Then I'll take this now straight directly to and at this point I'm going to cuff it down to where we have the 2. So we now have a meeting point here. So you've seen it. Use your ruler, please. This is just a freehand method. Use your ruler so you could have accurate measurements. Like I said, from the point of the 3, I took it down to the 3/2. Then from the point of the 3/2, which our 3/2 was like slant to the other side, from the 3 to the 3/2, then vertically, horizontally, I now draw mark from the 3/2, then take 4 inches. Then from the 4 inches, I now slope it down to where we have the 2 inches, so that we can have our this thing line, as you can see. Now we've gotten the lapel. This is going to serve as a lapel. Now we are going to take like 2 inches down from here. What you had, 2 inch from here, from this point, 2 inches. Still 2 inches. Inches down. Now don't forget that the jacket, you can use 1.5. So I took 2 inches because I'm turning it with lining. Now don't forget that this also came with its own bending allowance. That's as in the 34. Initial this is supposed to have been 32, so I took 34 with the allowance as well. I'm going to mark out the 2 inches now that would have saved like the bending, the same allowance. That's the 2 inches. I'm going to take from here to have my round down, that the place will not just be like straight. Take it down to here. And this is how it will look like. Now I didn't want my hips to really be puffed. The jacket, like what you've seen there, is not really coffee the way we saw. It's supposed to be slant, so I actually slant it from, since this is the real hips and it will still accommodate her with space, so I just took the slants from here to down. I ignored the previous thing that I drew, the hips that I drew, so because I don't want it to like come coffee, I want it to come out slant. That's why I had to take it straight from here to the down part. And this is how it will look like, a typical jacket. Then what we're going to insert here next is the bust and the dart. Now her darts, from what we've seen here from the measurement, the nipple to nipple point is 7 inches. Now 7 inches divided by 2, we have 3/2. I'm going to add 0.5, that's ½ inch, to make it 4. 3.5 will add half to make it 4. So I'll take 4. I'll take it and stop. This is the nipple point. I'm going to take and stop 1 inch below the nipple point. I'll take mark out for 4 inches. Now stop to 1 inch above the hips line. 4 4 connect my 4. This is what we'll have. Then on this other hand, I'll mark my 1, slant to this side, 1 to here, take it slantly, then I'll drop it to take it from here down slant to form my dart. Same here too. Is what we have for the dart for the front bodies. Using the dart, we hold it as a dart. And this is what we have for the front piece of the jacket. I'm going to cut it now before I'll show you now how to make the back. Starting here. Sorry, I failed to tell you for this thing here, you come in here by 1, so that it will not lift. You come in here by 1, so this is how it will be. I mean for the this is how it will be. Come in here by 1. That's how the jacket is going to look like. This for the front. Seen it on the side like this. So I'm going to set straight to start working with the back now. It will just save as a distance. Now it will be. So I'm going to bring out in lining too, so you could have the same. Bring in your lining. How it will look like. It's only for the front now. I'm starting to start the back. I'm using the same fabric to turn this place in particular, so that we can have the same thing. As you're turning it, what it will look like. Now for the back. This is for the back piece, like I said. So you're going to still fold it, but this time no 2.5 inch allowance in the front or back. This is for the back. You're going to fold it just the hips, then the 2 inches, which is 12.5. The hips, which is 42. You fold it 12.5. That's what we want. 42, which is 10.5, then plus 2 inches allowance. So at this point, I'm going to turn to make this side my upper body, while here remains the down part of the fabric. I'll still shift it out to have my 12. Exactly what I want. let's check it out. It's up to 15. I don't want it up to 15. I don't want to waste the fabric. I'm full. So let me now check it out. So since here it's a little bit complicated, I'm going to allow it this way. I'm going to allow it like this. Remember, this is the way we cut the first piece out. But to avoid confusion, if you don't want, you can cut this out to give you a straight look. So, but me, I know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to cut it out. I'll still take the length here for 34. Remember the other one, I've taken the length the other way, but this time I'm taking it here because of this down part that is wider than the other side. I'll take 34. And I'm going to set to work. Now my shoulder, the shoulder here is 14. I still had that 1 inch. When I'm fixing the sleeve, I'll loop it again. So I'll now do my armhole, which is what, 8. Connect the shoulder line to your armhole, then round it. You can use your cuffs to do that. Then the bust here, I'll take 34, which is 8/2. That's what the client has. 2 inches allowance. Then I'll mark out the half length, which is 14, and the hips line, which is 21. And on the line of this, I'm going to mark the shape, which is 30. 30 divided by 4, we have 7/2. Now add 2 inches for seam allowance. Then the hips here, divided by 4, we have 10.5, 42. 10/2. Then I'll still add my 2. So I'll connect the lines from here to here. Then from here, like I said, I don't want the cuff, so I'm going to just take it slant. So please use your ruler. Slant. It's not straight enough, so I'm going to make, please not make this thing, but I'm going to use this because I don't have a straight this thing there. So just to have to eliminate the error. Next time, the next video, you're going to see me with ruler. So this is how it's going to be. Like, you round the down part with 2 inches. This is how it will be. And what we're going to do next is to slope the shoulder by 1 inch. Slope it to the neckline. Then the neckline, I'm going to take here the up neck 3 inches. Then the neck depth, I'm going to use 1/2 inches. That's 0.5, 1/2 inch. So I'm going to round it. Then I'll insert the dart. Don't forget, we're going to mark out where the nipple, shoulder to nipple point here is 10 inches. Shoulder to underbust is 13 inches. Now shoulder to, I'm going to stop 1 inch above the hips line. 1 inch above the hips line, which is what the hip line is 21. So I'm going to stop at 20. So I'll mark out, like I said, this is 7 divided by 2, we have 3/2, then plus 0.5, that's plus half, we now have 4. I'm marking out 4 inches, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, 4. I'm stopping at 1 inch above below the nipple point. So that's how it will be. But this one, since this is back, I'll take it to the nipple point. That's 10. It does not have effect. So this is how it will be. Now I'm going to mark on the line of the under bust. I'll mark my half inch. It's your choice. You can decide to take 1 half here, then half here. Remember, for the front I took 1 because I wanted the distance to come out, or it shouldn't slap her, flatten her bust. So this is how it will be. Now take it down to this one. Same thing here. So this is what we have for the back. The neck, the shoulder, everything. That's all we have for the back. I'm going to cut it out now. Here in this jacket, the lapel comes together with the collar. There's no need for you to go and start cutting collar to fix. That's all we have for the back. So we start now. If you have your lining, you place it and bring out the lining and your cotton lining, and you fold it inside by 2 inches, like I said, or you can decide maybe ½ inch. It's your decision depending on how long you took the length. But this is what we have for the back bodies. I'm going to display them now. Then I'll place the front here too, so you could see it for yourself. And this is what we have for the front. And you can see this one is longer. That is, here will now be the one to form this place that will form the collar. This is how it will look like. After joining the shoulder to the shoulder, you've seen it already. That's how it's gonna be. That's how it will be. You sew here together, and you do same thing. Carry out the same thing with the lining. So this is how it's gonna be. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't fail to subscribe and don't fail to share the video. Thank you.